Does your child struggle to speak, even though you know they have so much to say? Language and speech, what's the difference? Language is 100% cognitive, our thoughts and understanding in our head, what we are thinking in English or some other language. But speech, it's 100% motor. Speaking is 100% controlled through a very complex and orchestrated process of sensory motor planning and execution. When we acknowledge these differences by accepting language is intact and it's the sensory motor system that is dysfunctional, in other words, expecting competence, we can unlock your child's ability to communicate. Let's take a look at the brain. Communication involves many areas, and understanding them can change everything for your child. Communication is an entire symphony of complex thoughts and actions, which is primarily conducted in the left hemisphere of the brain. Receptive language, meaning understanding what others say, is handled by Wernicke's area. Only rarely, as seen in some stroke patients, is this area of the temporal lobe dysfunctional. This means that your child understands words, even if they can't speak them. Expressive language, what we are thinking and wanting to say, takes place in Broca's area. All of our storage of words and meanings and ideas are gathered within Broca's area. This area is rarely affected in individuals with developmental conditions such as autism, cerebral palsy, or Down syndrome, and is most commonly damaged by strokes. This means most non-speakers have a condition called Apraxia, not an expressive or receptive language disorder. And we should expect that they not only understand what we say, but they also have a lot to say, but simply cannot get their message out. The problem with getting that message out is it needs to go through the supplementary motor cortex to plan the fine motor sequences and actions, and then the primary cortex, which then has to send that motor plan to all the muscle fibers in just the right order, speed, and timing to create speech in a complex symphony of breath, movement, sound, and resonance. On top of that, the motor cortex is greatly dependent on the somatosensory cortex, which processes sensory information from the body, such as touch, pressure, proprioception, and this feedback helps coordinate the movements needed for speaking by sensing the position and movement of these articulatory muscles. Therefore, a dysfunctional sensory motor processing system is the greatest obstacle in functional communication. It affects nonverbal communication, speech production, auditory processing, reading and writing, and social interactions. Reflexes, even though they originate in the subcortical brainstem and spinal cord, are also greatly reliant on our sensory motor system, as well as impulse motor and impulse control. This means most non-speakers have apraxia. They have intact language and cognition. Their deficits are primarily in the sensory motor systems of the brain. Non-speakers' greatest challenges are gesturing, verbalizing, and using traditional augmentative alternative communication, AAC devices, because they cannot successfully orchestrate the volitional sensory motor systems needed to communicate what they're truly thinking and wanting to express. Your child knows what they want to say, but their body can't get the words out. They desperately want to be heard and understood. Traditional speech therapy often fails them, but spelling to communicate is breaking their silence. It is the only evidence-based communication approach that addresses the underlying apraxia. S2C minimizes sensory processing, motor planning, and the need for fine motor execution. It maximizes purposeful gross motor actions, supporting neuroplasticity and the myelination of motor neural pathways. Through repeated practice of pointing to letters on a letterboard, we help strengthen their brain-body connection over time. Spelling to communicate is a unique AAC approach, giving non-speakers all around the world the opportunity to finally be heard and show what they are truly capable of. Watch the film Spellers to learn how this approach has been changing the lives of individuals with autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, and more. These non-speakers want the world to know they are in there. They are capable, and they have so much to say and share. They want every non-speaker to be given the chance to spell. And so do we. We are here to help. Contact us at Encore Speech and Wellness at www.encorespeech.com. We're located in Central Florida.